And I think that Black women, we need to really reframe the way we think and the way we approach Black men if we want change. Now, if we see no problem with the state of our community, then continue to do the same thing. But if we think that it's an issue and we want change and we think that it would be beneficial to modify how we respond to them, then we should modify the way we respond to them because this ain't it. Whatever this is,
that was not it. That was not it. That was sad. That was super, super sad. It actually made me feel.
You did.
You know, I don't like to feel stuff. I don't be having feels like that, but that made me, I was a little bit disgusted. I was a little bit bewildered. I was angry.
It was so hard for me. Like when I was listening to that on Tanya's channel, I was like, it was making my blood boil because I know the type of man that is. Like I can sniff one of those type men out, especially
they stink.
You're a Black woman. If you're not just a Black woman, if you're a woman in general, and you've dealt with older men, because let's just be real, there is a pathology to an older man who is in his 50s or even 40s and he wants to date somebody in her 20s. There's even a pathology to that. And I noticed the pathology is very predatory. The men who want to date younger women, it is predatory. And so
it would be nice if it was nurturing, because that would be so helpful for our society. If it was nurturing, like literally that would be so beneficial, but it is predatory, and it's disgusting because it doesn't have to be. I'm just so
we don't even recognize it, because when Black women are being raised,
we recognize it, we just don't address it. That's what
we recognize it because we've had trial and error experience. That's the only reason why, not because we're taught. V, what were you going to say something?
I was gonna say, when you're 20, you don't recognize it.
Yeah, you don't recognize it when you're 20. And but we're not taught it either. We're not taught, these are the type of men that you should avoid. This is when when you're in the presence of an abusive man. She wasn't even able to tell what type of man she's in the presence of. And that's the saddest thing.
And I agree, and I wanted to actually mention that because what you see here is normalized violence or abuse, because that's what it is. And too often in the Black culture, like we like just I want to put people like what normally would happen in that kind of dialogue is he would get cussed out. There would be an aggressive exchange. There would be arguments, and she's probably have endured something like this in her relationship, whether it be with her parents or hearing her brother, regardless. But it's prevalent in the Black community, this type of exchange. So a lot of us don't see that as anything but normal. It's normalized. Okay, well, this is just, a dude with the option, or just normal, because it's like she wouldn't have moved. She would have had a problem with it otherwise. She would have had that would have been a red flag. It would have been like, I'm gonna cut this off and get out of here. Bye. But it isn't, because it is normalized. Like this type of behavior is normalized to Black women. This is the type of guys that are prevalent in our communities. We see this at school. We see this at work. Not really necessarily at work. We see this a lot in our community. Certainly at home, I'll say. A lot of people will grow up with parents who have this type of exchange at some point. It's normalized. It is. And that's why people tune in to watch it, because they're like, oh, this is like part of my culture. I watch this.
I've never experienced
I'm gonna watch this because I can connect to it.
Right.
I've never in my life experienced anything like that before. And
but because you wouldn't tolerate it. But the thing is, she did know. She did know there was something wrong, because she kept saying, you're being mean. I didn't come up here for you to be mean. So she knew that what he was saying wasn't right, and she felt disrespected by it, but she still valued his opinion and his validation so much that even though she knew he was being disrespectful to her, she still sat there and asked for his advice. There's a problem there, because it says even when Black women know that they're being mistreated, because of the level that they put Black men on, they will still tolerate it. They'll still tolerate it because he's a Black man. It's a problem.
And she said she's watched his show before, so she knew what kind of person he was.
Right.
Yeah, she said she loves his show. She said she loves his show, because if that's an example of what he does on his show, then she's attracted to abusive men. That is what she's attracted to.
Right.
Emotionally abusive.
That was my point. That was my entire point. She had to have been getting something out of the show because she knew ahead of time how he was going to behave. And so I'm saying maybe it's her kink. So I agree with Cynthia. It is the kind of man that she's attracted to.
But the king makes you feel good, though. That wasn't making her feel good. So
Not
that wasn't-
necessarily. Well, no, I don't know if that was making her.
No, I'm just saying, you don't know, you just know what her face said, but you don't know
No,
her.
you can tell her body language, her
Right.
face.
Her
That did not make her feel
The
good.
thing is, that emotion might turn her on.
No,
It's
she
all
didn't
I'm
feel good. There's
I really hope
something
that's,
in
I'm
her.
just hoping that's the case, because that really.
Yeah,
made me
you
feel
can
bad.
tell she did not feel good. That did not make her feel good.
People are just so weird. I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
pretend like I know because
Because
people,
that's a fetish, and she could have felt good. And the thing is, yeah, I felt the pain. But the thing is, some people are aroused by the pain, the emotional pain, just the same way they're aroused by.
I think I think
So-
the Black women don't recognize when they're necessarily been abused, and I think that's the issue. But there's a lot of Black women who allow themselves to be broken bucks punching bags, because that's all you have over there, a bunch of conquered broken bucks who are mad because they're conquered. They're not going to go really take out their aggression on who's conquering them, so they use Black women as their punching bags. And there's too many Black women who are willing to, because our self-esteem has been put in the toilet and flushed down. Like, we've been told we're worthless, we don't have any value by the very men that we give birth to. So our self-esteem couldn't be lower. And I think that was an example of it. And that's why, we can come on here in social media spaces and try to get Black women, to change. I'm not going to sit here and tell you to be feminine. I'm not here going to tell you to level up. But what I'm going to tell you to do is get some self-love, some value, get some healing, and stop allowing men who are unworthy to treat you like trash. That's what I would say.
You should express that. You should actually say, hey, I'm a submissive, so that people don't look at you as general population.
right.
Because that's not
Well,
okay.
she did keep saying that she's a submissive. She did say that she's a submissive woman. She said that.
Okay,
So,
that
and
makes
she
sense.
was looking for a man that she could submit to, with what she said. But
Keep that in context.
on that note that Cynthia said, where we're giving birth to men like that. I'm not. Like, I have some boys, and my boys are never going to be like that. I promise you, they would never be like that, because they see, like, I don't treat them like, how we've been watching shows, and there'll be dudes on TikTok that saying, this their mama, they're pretending like they're their mom, and they're the remote control right next to them, and she's screaming at them to give them the remote control, and then they bring it to her, and then it's just right there and stuff. Like, there's a lot of TikToks where dudes pretend to be their mothers, and they're Black dudes that are pretending to be their mothers, and they're painting them to be these horribly wretched people. And I'm not like that. So and I'm not saying that all Black women are like that, but I'm saying clearly there's something that's going on that's causing these dudes to view Black women in this horrible way. And I'm not saying that they deserve to be viewed in that way, but I'm saying there's clearly something that's going on with Black women that's causing these guys to be that way. Is the fact that they're left alone. They have to be the provider, and the doctor, and the dentist, and the lawyer, and the mediator, and everything that child needs, when they're supposed to be two people doing that. And no one's paying attention to the fact that the dude is just dipped out, and he's mad because he got to pay some child support. But it's like, he is the reason. Like, dudes don't want to be mad at themselves. They can't be mad at their dad, so they're going to be mad at the woman. They're mad at the person that's been there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you do have some overbearing moms. I mean, I was just looking, and some moms who coddle too much. And I really think the biggest issue is the coddling, I think, is more problematic than the overbearingness.
Well, I don't think the ones that are being coddled, they're going to sit there and go off on Black women and saying that they're trash and that they this and that. Because who are the ones that are doing that? Those are the ones that aren't being coddled.
Yeah, they do, because the coddle ones have an entitlement attitude. That's why.
Oh my
Right,
God,
but they're
they
not
do,
doing
especially the
it.
cancer ones.
Yeah.
The thing is, like with me, the reason why I coddle mine is because I'm still going to be the best me that I can be, and the me is I'm a nurturer.
And also, she has a cancer ascendant.
Can I finish? So I do all the things that I know a woman is supposed to do for her children, and also for her man if he's there, But shut up. But there's also the reason why the coddling of the issue is because there's not a man structure there that's showing them how to be a man. It wouldn't be a problem if a woman is coddling her child. If the dude is still being there, you need to take out the trash. You need to do this as the man. You need to do the all the man stuff.
The thing is, I think the issue here is the lack of self-love. And look, y'all can go look at whoever's channels y'all want to. Someone called in and mentioned these femininity channels. I think that's fine. You can talk about femininity if you want to. I don't understand being feminine for non-masculine men. But whatever. If a person thinks that if a person thinks that they need to work on their femininity, do that. Do whatever you feel like you want to do, but do it knowing that it's not going to change anything that Black men do until you get some standards and start depriving them and start making them compete with your other options. It's really that simple. It's about, do you want things to change? Do you want them to stay the same? And if we have so many complaints about Black men, you have one or two options. One, stop giving birth to them, which I would never tell you to do that. I like Black men. The skinnier ones really do got 96 inches of dick, but who's counting? Anyway. So I don't think the solution is in not giving birth to him. The solution isn't having standards. They need to be taken off the tit. They're not supposed to be coddled. They need to be men. They're ill-equipped to function in society as men, and they're going around searching for their next mommy, and it's like, I'm not your mom. So they need to be re-socialized, and a way to re-socialize them is to change the way we deal with them. And yeah, y'all can have the floor now. So
you need to
really have
I just feel like there's just too much, like what you just said is so accurate and true, but like I look at the trajectory of when that would happen, and it takes too long, so I really just wash my hands and just like moving right along, because I don't have time for all that. I'm married, so I don't have time for that. If you can't change tomorrow, I ain't sticking around.
Well,
what are my next options?
Is that Black women are not going to change the way they deal with Black men. The conditioning is too strong, and the value that they place on Black men is too strong. And I think Black women think that if they have some expectations or what have you, if they change, that they're going to somehow lose value to Black men. Well, they're already
a dark Indian or something. Like it's just about the
you already don't have value to them. You already don't have value to them for a number of different reasons. A lot of it has to do with the fact that they've wholly bought into the European beauty standard. They're chasing what white men have. They want what white men have. They value what white men have. And so while they're chasing the white male dream, we're being left here in a society where we're just like, okay, we have to fend for ourselves. We have to do everything for ourselves. We're where the men are. And so
doing none of that.
You have options in other groups of men, then go to another group of men if that's what you feel like you need to do. I personally think at this point it's a necessary evil. Yes, I'm still going to call it an evil because my opinion is still what it is on it, but I think it's a necessary evil. It does not benefit Black men, as we can see, when he does not have, challenges and competition make you grow. You grow when you're challenged. When you have competition, you level up, you learn to be the best. They don't have that option. We're depriving them of that option, of the option to actually fully become men. Like we actually are stopping them from being men. If you think about it in context, because we don't hold them up. We don't hold them to the standard of manhood. So they're not gonna strut up to that mantle of manhood, beat on their chest and say, I got it. They're not going to do that. They don't even want to crawl or walk on their own. They want you to carry them because that's how they're socialized. They're socialized that you are mommy. You need to do everything, struggle for them, be their ride or die, let them cheat.
I'm so thankful I'm not running across one of these guys. I'm like, because you trust me. It's like, I'm just having to remind myself, this is not everyone's reality. This is not all the guys. I'm not running across this guy yet, so I'm thankful for it because it's like I'm getting depressed. I'm like sitting here thinking like I'm never gonna but it's like that's not. I gotta like fan myself. I'm like, oh, just calm down. So,
before I get off here, let me let y'all weigh in on this Dusty comment. So this one,
just let me recover from that for a second. Whew. I rebuke that.
I want to hear this dust. I want to hear about this dust.
Standards to white men, but are you going to have similar resources and power and wealth to white men? Are you going to have that too? because you can't have the same standards unless you have the same thing to offer. You like, and I think this is where they come confused at. Just because you have to compete with a man of no color to have access to Black women, because she said you're no longer going to have just this unfettered access to me or unrestricted access to me, that doesn't mean suddenly Black men's wealth in society have increased. It has not. You still don't have the wealth or the resources. You still don't. And then look, he's saying those are bomb ass Black men. The more successful a Black man is, the higher his standards will be. No, the more successful a Black man is, the higher his likelihood to go marry a white woman.
Exactly. I was going to say, I think it's funny what his example of high standards is. And that's how you can tell what they really are, is what their examples of high standards, how they display the high standards they have. Well,
if Black man had a pinky thumb, a pinky nail worth of power, oh, you can best believe they would exploit it. They would use that to crush Black women. You can best believe. The only person they would flex on. It's the only person. They wouldn't flex on nobody but Black women if they just had a tiny bit of power. Like literally,
it's just like whenever you watch a show and when you want to see, and I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but I've noticed that when you watch pretty much any show, to show that the character is badass, he'll beat up somebody Black or intimidate somebody Black. It's pretty much the same way with the Black man would be. Like, to show how badass and how forward he is, he'd have to put down a Black woman. It's just so gross. It's really gross.
Nobody's gonna.
I wonder if people have noticed that in
there's
society.
nothing except this. Like this dude, I really don't. I think somebody hyped. See, this is what I'm talking about when I talk about the level of arrogance these dudes have. He said you have to compete for that Black man. There are Black men with money with Black women. So you compete for a Black man and you win what? Except for dick. What are you winning?
No, like this whole conversation, like women, do women really have to compete? Because I've never in my life had to compete with anything. Is this really a real thing? Because I feel like it's a myth, and I'm not just going on myself because I've seen some, like Ella said, some really questionable looking women with some very attractive guys. So, and I've seen like you can bottom of barrel women get guys, and so I don't. I'm gonna do a social experiment. I'm gonna make some profiles with some ugly women on there, and I'm gonna see who actually. Because I don't believe that this whole compete thing. Because guys will literally be with anybody. Like literally, they will. If you're available and you're willing, and you're willing and inclined, then they.
You got the poem and they got it.
Like so, I don't get what they mean. Like you have to. Like,
Black women would be silly to compete for Black men.
But I don't know. I don't think it really exists. Is it really a thing?
Black women will be the only group of women on the face of the planet willing to compete to get a Black man. You would be the only willing to do that.
I don't think so, but that is funny.
Now, ain't no group of women for what?
No, I agree. Like, because I'm trying to figure this out. Because I don't think men have to compete, and I don't think women do. But I feel like if you're looking for something specific, like a custom package, then yeah, you got, because there's not a lot of, like, I feel like guys definitely have more options in terms of attractiveness, in terms of, economic wealth and things like that, of finding a woman of that stature than women do. But I've never had any problem finding guys with, like, I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into this because I'm doing some social experiments because I really feel like this idea that people are needing to go out and compete, I feel like that's a myth. But I think maybe they're just looking in the wrong way.
Look, to me, as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing to compete for, and that doesn't mean that Black men don't have any worth. It means that Black men are not socialized to give anything. So the only thing you will be competing for is possibly bigger dick and balls, and and some of y'all are sweaty anyway.
And some of y'all really overestimate the importance of balls. Trust me.
What I was gonna say is, but all guys are willing to share theirs with anybody. Like I've never seen a guy say, no, I'm not, she's not getting any money. Like really? Like most guys will be like, I mean, I'll hit at least once, but I'm not gonna stay with the person. But it's like nobody's really even competing for that either. Like honestly, let's just be realistic. Like really?
Nearly all of them overestimate.
They really do. I just think it's a lot of men out there thinking they have options.
Balls are so unimportant to me in the grand.
They aren't. I mean, the thing is, if you have big balls and then you're It's like, dude, you need more zucchini. Get out of here. I can't. I won't. I absolutely refuse. And I feel
Yeah, they have their practical
disrespected.
applications,
And I
but they
might
really are
snack
just
it.
like that for the most part outside of like.
You want a zucchini with
Strawberry.
tennis balls, right? Zucchini.
See, nothing, because I actually like to play with balls.
I don't even care. I don't care
So
about the balls.
balls are of use to you
I
then.
don't even know if I noticed if they didn't have balls. I don't honestly, I can't even say I would notice. As long as if the peen is big, I might not even notice if you don't have balls.
Balls are inconsequential to me.
Exactly. It's just like, huh?
That's my balls. But I do know if you find you a skinny black dude, you got at least 25 inches.
No, but you got a lot. That's true.
I don't know because look, have you seen them in those skinny jeans? I've seen skinny guys in skinny jeans. And
They have the skinny and dark skin.
It's always touching a knee. It's always touching a knee, and it's just like, dude, you got this lump right there next to your knee, and
They gotta be skinny and dark skin. They really do. They have to be. If they tall, skinny, and dark skin, that's where the inches are. They stole all the inches.
they did steal all the inches. Like black people stole all the butters.
They did. And skinny.
It's like, don't take the inches because we didn't want it.
Shout out to the skinny, dark skin black men in the chat room because I know y'all got at least 15 inches.
Throw us some pics. Send us some pics. No. I'm that. Yeah, I don't want to be that guy, but I do.
Snapchat me that D.
Snapchat me that D now.
DM me. Y'all DM me.
Someone
What
said,
is my
"Do
Snapchat?
you
I don't even know what my
like the
Snapchat is."
pink hair?" Princess Z said that.
Send me a dick pic if you skinny.
No, I need to find out what my Snapchat is, so I'm gonna find out. Oh, it's
If you talk
Christina G_11. So this is my Snapchat. I don't know. Y'all can't see that.
You have to hold it still. There you go. We got
Yes,
it.
you can. Yes, you can.
Thank you for that. I'm gonna go.
Hey, I don't have your Snapchat.
I don't either. I don't have Snapchat.
I'm
Now.
gonna
Oh
go.
my God, my son go ask me, do I know about Snapchat? And
Snapchat me
he said, he go ask me, do I know about Snapchat? I'm like, how the hell do you know about Snapchat?
I just want to see if y'all want to Snapchat me that.
Oh yeah, I do. I have your
But now-
Snapchat.
I don't have Snapchat.
I'm gonna go the easier route, and I'm gonna say if you're tall, skinny, and dark skinned, get in my DM. Get in my
there.
get in my DM now,
You gotta be dark skinned.
and show me because I want to be. I want
For
to
me,
see.
you just gotta be tall because
She just wants to, it's a scientific experiment. She just wants to do a scientific experiment to
Right,
see.
it's just for a scientific experience because I know you will just have 50 inches minimum, like literally.
I'm gonna give it a scientific experiment too. If you have a Leo Venus, hit me up. Yeah.
No, don't. If you a male and a Leo, I can't.
No, I said Leo Venus. I like that because
But
I was gonna say, you know what that is.
I have a Gemini Venus and I'm just all over that. I'm like, here, kitty, kitty.
But if you're a Libra, you can call me though. You can if you're a Libra.
See, notice how the fire likes the air and the air likes the fire. You see that? You see
Not
that?
a Cancer.
Gemini. I'm
Yeah,
like,
not a
that's Leo, that's Leo. She like that.
Oh my
Skinny
God.
and dark skin.
Which is air.
But you have to be tall, skinny, and dark skin. So if you're not, stay out of my DMs.
No, just have them send you that print. That print. You know, then put the
Nice
hey,
sweatpants.
gentlemen, put on little sweatpants.
I want them to take
You know what
the
I'm saying? Get sexy.
Get comfortable. Don't say get
Okay,
comfortable.
don't get sexy. Get comfortable. Start feeling comfortable. Have some wine. You
Then
know, but not too
relax.
much.
nice
You know,
sweatpants.
get warm. Get nice and warm. Don't be cold. You know, and then just go ahead.
Now I wouldn't go so far as to say BBC is a myth. Like I don't know where you be. You better get in them southern parts.
You know, just go ahead and flex it. Just show. Actually, it would be nice if you just show us those prints. Because actually, I don't mind seeing them. This is the season.
The southern and eastern parts, like literally inches lined from the southern border to the eastern shores. So cut it out. That's inches all over them. So let's not play. There's enough inches out there to go around. There really is. Like y'all playing. She said BBC is a myth. Where?
What is that?
I've only seen one small black peen.
I've never seen one.
I've
I
only,
have a very
I think it's a
limited
myth.
sample
I think
pool.
maybe you just didn't have your contacts in or something. So
maybe I probably didn't. So to take a closer up close. Look.
exactly. You saw it from the wrong perspective.
Yeah, I haven't seen too many that were small. I haven't seen too many small.
I know one thing. What do
I
y'all
don't
plan on
mind
having for
Googling
dinner?
it
Because I want some
to see if it-
Mexican food for sure.
And I hate the fact that you can get it from that one place. But anyway, I'm about to get off because I need to go clean and watch
Yeah.
the People versus OJ.
Oh, that's such a good. I like that one.
Did you watch? Okay, I'm gonna watch that too. We should just talk about that because
Yeah,
the thing is, this is what annoys me about the OJ Simpson situation. It's like it's the white people's favorite thing to go to when it comes to like, oh, somebody got away with something. I don't even really necessarily know that he got away with anything. I mean, I wouldn't be.
They saw to it that he did it.
The thing is, because of all these years from, because you have to realize that happened during our childhood. So all these years we've had to hear about that, just like we have to hear about Chicago when it comes to black on black crime. You see what I mean? These are just like,
It's like if you don't shut up.
exactly,
And
these
that's
are staples of
why
racism. So
But if you watch the trial, it's so interesting. The series.
so it's just like at this point, I get to the point where I don't even care if he killed. I hope he
And I
did.
just
He got
feel
away
like
with it because
that's
I've had.
what
It's
this
just
white
like
on
if a
white
lover
part.
accuses you of cheating on them, and they're like, "You cheated on me. You cheated on me. You cheated on me," and you never cheated on them, and then you're like, "Wow, I wish I would have cheated on them as much as I got accused of it." Well, the thing is, as much as I've heard certain people tell me, "Oh, O.J. Simpson did it. O.J. Simpson did it. He got away with it." I sure to God hope he did. I hope he sliced the F out of both of them. And that was,
Don't say that.
More than just
but
that.
it's just like the thing is,
Terrible.
That's what I have to hear about it.
all I'm saying is I've had to hear about it so much, and I have to hear about like
That's
I
just much that you
last
have
time
to
I
hear
heard
about it.
Let me
Gosh,
tell you
you don't have to be
something.
so
Last time I heard was
No,
a week
I
ago
feel the
from a
same. As much
coworker.
as I've
A
had to
week
hear about
ago. A week ago, I got sent a text message, and I wish I could show you the meme. A week ago, just a week ago, I heard about it. So the thing is,
because
I've been
your
hearing about
mom
it
just died.
Listen, it was
cares?
during our time when he was even OJ. He wasn't even famous during our time, and we still get to hear about him. We had to learn.